Nightbeat starts right now.
A high school student dead, and investigators are trying to figure out how his body wound up miles from his school.
18-year-old Anthony Xavier Luna attended Cast STEM High School in the Southwest Independent School District. The sheriff's office says he was studying to become an engineer. This case goes all the way back to August 27th. The sheriff's office says someone in a black car picked Luna up near Southwest High School. Investigators say around that same time, evidence led them north of that area.
There is evidence at this point that it's at some point around that time, he was around the 410 and 90 area, possibly near the street of Gunsmoke.
So we went to that area. We spoke with a man who said he was Luna's uncle, but didn't know what happened. Sheriff's investigators say Luna's body eventually found this past Saturday in a marshy area off Kearney Road in southwest Bexar County. That's about 3 miles from Cast STEM High School. Southwest ISD says they are cooperating with investigators in this case. Investigators want to know who picked Luna up the day he disappeared. If you have any information, they can really use your help. Call Crime Stoppers at 210-224-STOP.
Now, school districts across the country are staying alert for any troublesome online activity because digital investigators say that oftentimes there's no validity to threats, but they have to act quickly in order to confirm that.
Yeah, the Night Team's Patty Santos takes us inside Northeast ISD's investigative unit to give us a closer look at how quickly they can track down those who are making these threats.
From Bernie ISD to Camel ISD to Medina Valley ISD, school staff and law enforcement remain vigilant, keeping an eye out for any potential school threats. Yesterday, an NEISD 7th grader who made online threats was caught and is facing charges.
I was able to obtain information that led me to the suspect and got their name, where they lived. And at that point, we had officers already ready to respond to talk to this individual.
NEISD police say it serves as a warning to other students who think they can hide behind a platform.
There are ways to find out who these people are.
Detectives Donald Smith and Mario Alonso work day and night every day of the week looking into threats of violence for NEISD.
Students, children, they want to post things for shock value, and this is going to generate a lot of fear amongst the public, right?
While the number of threats is increasing due to the availability of cell phones and social media, detectives say thankfully the majority of them turn out to be a hoax and not credible. But the consequences students face for making those threats are real.
It could be probation, it could be, juvenile or adult jail time. It's just specifically, it's up to the district attorney's office of what consequences they get.
The NEISD investigative team, which also includes a digital investigator, goes beyond district boundaries to help track threats from districts that simply don't have the resources.
By the time we get to the bottom of it and interview the suspect and figure out that was their intent, just to get shock value or get a day off, then at that point we can determine it's not credible, especially if there's no access to weapons, no plan, and it was just to that appeal to get people talking.
Police say national incidents like the one in Michigan contribute to fake threats in districts everywhere.
And in the latest school shooting in Michigan, the students' parents are also facing charges. And local investigators say we may not be far from holding parents accountable for the threats that their kids make while using social media, phones sometimes, that they provide for them. Steve, Stefania?
So, Patty, even if it's not a credible threat, do police still try to intervene when they see a post that appears to be an outcry for help?
Yeah, in NEISD's case, for example, the police department also has a mental health unit, and when they see that there might be an outcry for help through one of those posts, they make sure that they get that student the help and the services that they need, because being able to intervene early could help catch any threat from moving on forward.
Patty Santos live in the newsroom. Thank you, Patty. A sexually explicit incident caught on camera involving a school. Now police with the Northside Independent School District are investigating. The district says Simply sharing that video could lead to criminal charges. The case stems from Warren High School. District officials say the video depicts several minors while on that campus. School leaders say they are speaking with the parents of those involved. Meanwhile, district police are following up to address any potential charges.
Okay, so right now we want to ask you a question and think about it. Did you lock your car? And did you leave anything inside there that may attract criminals? That's really important because cameras caught a couple of car burglary suspects armed with guns on the city's north side. This right here is in the Canyon Crest neighborhood. And Bexar County investigators say that these guys went home to home and got into 19 cars in one night. And here's the thing. All those cars were unlocked. Deputies say the suspect stole a credit card used at a convenience store. Now, here you see video of the two guys investigators want to speak to now. One of them is in a black hoodie. You see him there on the left, the other in a white shirt. If you know them, call the Bexar County Sheriff's Office, and their number is 210-335-6000. Police also need your help with something else tonight. You see that teen there? Well, he's missing. 15-year-old Elijah Hernandez Casares was last seen Tuesday at a West Side home on Snowshoe. That's right near Hunt Lane and Ingram Road on the west side. He's got curly hair and a scar just above his right eye. Police say that he has a medical condition, so if you have any information on his whereabouts, call SAPD. The number there is on your screen. It's 210-207-7660.
Daycare thefts. Police say she stole charm bracelets from children she was supposed to be taking care of before pawning those bracelets off for money. But how were officers able to recover those items? Well, the Night Team's John Paul Barajas explains how pawn shops and police work together to keep an eye out for stolen items.
Thieves are often looking for the best bang for their buck, stealing items they can quickly turn into cash, and sometimes they end up at pawn shops. That's what this woman is accused of doing. San Antonio police say the former daycare worker stole jewelry from kids. Luckily, police were able to track down the stolen items to a pawn shop.
It is a loss on our end, so it certainly does not benefit the pawn broker or the industry to deal in stolen merchandise. It's always a loss on our end.
Former city councilwoman Shirley Gonzalez is the owner of Bill's Pawn Shop. The items didn't end up at her store, but she explains all shops in San Antonio work closely with the police department, having regular meetings and trainings with SAPD to identify things to look out for in crime trends. But the way they document items sold to their stores is arguably the best asset for law enforcement because sellers are required to file a copy of their ID.
Every pawn shop in San Antonio it voluntarily downloads all the transactions for the day. They go straight to a third-party system that then connects to the police department.
Gonzalez adds the law enforcement can look through that third-party website, and if an officer sees an item they have a theft report for, they're able to track down the person who sold it and most of the time get the stolen goods back into the right hands. She tells us the best chance of getting your belongings back is if they're engraved, have identifiable markings, or if you have pictures of the item. But with today's technology, the best thing to do is
tracking serial numbers if they have them, model numbers, serial numbers. It's much easier to identify now items because of the tracking numbers.
Now, of course, that is if the item stolen has a serial number, but if it does, it's important to write that down somewhere. Gonzalez also tells us when they get an item sold to them, they're required to hold it for a certain amount of time to give law enforcement a chance to review it before they sell it to someone else. John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
And today it was a warm day. We started off at 61. By the afternoon, we topped out at 78 degrees in San Antonio, both well above average. It's going to get, I think, a little bit warmer tomorrow. I mean, we had some locations in the 80s today, Pleasanton up to 87, 90 the high in Cotulla. That was the exception out there. High temperatures over the next couple of days will be dropping off. Tomorrow, I think we'll make it back into the 80s, most of us lower 80s. But look what happens by the weekend. Highs in the lower 60s then. We're going to talk about that cold front and especially what it does to our morning low temperatures and take a look at the newest drought monitor with rain chances coming up.
Now we want to thank you. All week, you've sent us questions, and we've passed them on to doctors and scientists at the San Antonio Breast Cancer Symposium. Today was day 3. We spoke with a Houston doctor who shared advice for newly diagnosed breast cancer patients. First, we have this question from Alana, who asked, what if you have naturally high estrogen levels? Would you recommend an estrogen blocker and genetic testing? And now here's the response from breast surgeon Dr. Alistair Thompson.
Anyone who's concerned about their background risk should meet with the sort of preventive medicine type of doctors, and that might include genetic counselors, for example, if there's a family history of breast and other cancers, to try and individualize what their potential risks are and what they might be able to do about it.
Also, here's another question from Veronica, who's asking, I'm a 37-year-old female and was diagnosed with DCIS this past May. Cancer does not run in my family, so what are my chances of return?
DCIS is cancer cells inside the tubes or ducts which haven't started to invade or spread throughout the breast. And therefore, if that can be dealt with by some combination, usually of surgery, sometimes with radiation treatment, and sometimes with anti-cancer drugs, then the chances of it coming back are actually very low. And the chances of her being protected in the long term are actually very high.
We invite you to keep these questions coming. Just visit our website, KSAT.com, and look for the story. And by the way, the Breast Cancer Symposium ends tomorrow.
South Texas putting on a show. Still ahead on the Nightbeat, another San Antonio area winner in the ABC Christmas Light Fight. We're going to take you to Bernie to meet the winning family coming up.
Also, new details into that tragedy at Astro World. The rapper right at the center of dozens of lawsuits, now sharing his side of the story.
And plus, the trial against actor Jussie Smollett coming to an end. The verdict, next on the Nightbeat.
This SA Salute holiday greeting is brought to you by the Joe A. Gomez Law Firm.
Hi, I'm Tony Garzavale with the Gomez Law Firm. And on behalf of the Gomez Law Firm, we'd like to wish everybody in the San Antonio community and surrounding areas a happy holidays and a happy new year, and give a special thank you to the men and women in uniform. Thank you for all the sacrifices you make for our freedom.
Now tonight, a jury in Chicago reaching a verdict in the trial of actor Jussie Smollett. He is guilty on 5 of 6 counts of disorderly conduct for lying to police. He claimed that he was the victim of a racist and homophobic attack. Now, prosecutors argued that he staged all of it. Authorities began questioning Smollett's story when he declined to fully cooperate with the investigation. The court heard from 2 brothers who testified that Smollett hired them to carry out the attack. Now we're finally hearing from Travis Scott after last month's tragedy at Astro World. In an interview posted online today, the rapper said that he didn't know that people died at the concert until after his performance was over. You remember 10 people died after a crowd surge during that event. Scott said that he paused the performance a couple of times but couldn't hear fans who were screaming for help. And the rapper denied having a history of encouraging fans to rush the stage. There are now more than 140 lawsuits against Scott and the organizer.
Turning now to the pandemic, the number of coronavirus cases continuing to rise in Bexar County. Our 7-day average now at 262 cases. 2 more people have died from the virus. 189 patients are hospitalized. Most are not vaccinated. A reminder to get your final dose of vaccine by Saturday to make sure you're fully vaccinated and it's in full effect by Christmas. And speaking of the holidays, South Texas showing out. We have another local winner of the Great Christmas Light Fight. We saw the winners in Windcrest a couple of weeks ago. Now the Hinojosa family and Bernie also able to show off one of those trophies. There it is. They won episode 5 on the holiday contest here on ABC.
We've been doing this for about 7 or 8 years, and it's grown over time, and I'm just glad that people, it's a part of their holiday traditions.
It's pretty amazing. The Hinojosa display is at 140 Shadow Knolls in Bernie. The winners in Windcrest and Bernie plan to meet in person and tour each other's displays soon.
That's a lot of
I hope they invite us to come along, because I cannot imagine some of the things they're going to talk about.
Pretty awesome. We have a live camera right now over 410 right now, and it's 68 degrees, and you do see some fog in the area, but you know what? That fog is no match for those lights that we just saw in Bernie. You can see them right through it, I'm sure.
I cannot imagine what the electricity bill is.
Oh, yeah.
For either Windcrest or that Bernie home.
This is true. This is true.
It's got to be pretty steep. Just for a month, though. That's it. It's just a quick month. Just have to think of it that
save
way.
up.
Yeah, and it's not like they run all night long either. It's just during the evening hours. Okay, so you mentioned the fog. Let's get right to it. Take a look at our dew points. They're up there now. I mean, we have dew points in the 60s and 70s. So the humidity, it's pretty thick, especially relative to this time of year, and it's going to get even thicker overnight. And this is one reason why we're starting to see the fog already developing. Visibility down to 3 miles in New Braunfels, 7 miles Pleasanton, Uvalde, Gonzales, 5 miles in Kerrville. That's not all that terrible, but it's only 10:18 p.m. and we're already getting that fog developing. So here's what we're anticipating in terms of visibility for the morning commute. This is 5 a.m. We're talking under a mile for a good portion of our area and possibly even under a quarter of a mile at times tomorrow morning. So I wouldn't be surprised if we have another dense fog advisory for a period of time tomorrow morning during the commute. And then later in the morning by the midday, just like today, that fog's going to lift. We'll have a bit of a gray sky and we'll squeeze in some afternoon sunshine. Let's talk temperatures though. Currently, we're in the 60s for the most part, some 50s here and there. I mean, Comfort, Kerrville, 59. Meanwhile, 68 in Converse, 66 Port SA, Pleasanton still at 73 degrees, 76 in Victoria. You're going to stay in the 70s. East of I-35 along the coastal plain, you're not going to drop much more because your dew points are in the 70s, so that's going to limit you. Temperature doesn't drop past the dew point. But morning temperatures are going to really change with the next cold front. We talked about the afternoon highs. They'll be closer to 60 this weekend. Look what happens to the morning temperature on Sunday. We're expecting 35 degrees for the low temperature. That would be the coldest reading we've had so far this year, but it's very short-lived. That little valley is highly isolated, then temperatures rebound quickly as we get into next week. So here's the overall weather pattern. Significant cloud cover, West Texas, North Texas, not a big deal, just some Pacific moisture. The real moisture has been over the western U.S. earlier today, now into tonight in the desert Southwest. This is good because they've got a bigger drought than we have right now. So it's nice to see some moisture where it's needed. This disturbance, this big dip in the upper level flow, that's going to pass just north of us and push that cold front through early Saturday morning before sunrise. I wish I could tell you it'd give us good rain chances, but it's not. The moisture is going to stay much farther north up the plains in the central plains than down here in south and central Texas. Now here's the latest drought monitor, and notice how about half of Texas is in drought right now, but unfortunately our rain chances are pretty bleak. Only about 10% tomorrow morning, 10% Saturday morning, and then 20% part of next week. Tomorrow we make it up to 82 in the afternoon. We'll have a little bit of afternoon sunshine, some locations closer to the border near 90. And then next week, we warm up rather quickly.
All right, Adam, good stuff.
A fall-like weekend. Just a couple days.
That's all right.
Then we go back to spring.
We'll take it. I mean, we're excited. I mean, it doesn't matter because the Spurs give us the good news.
Well, they won, and they took advantage of a great situation. Denver's right now fighting through some health and safety protocol issues. Players are injured. They're on a long road trip. They had to play last night in overtime, and the Spurs took advantage of that. And to start a back-to-back series with Denver on a good note, and a very bold prediction from the Cowboys coach back from COVID coming up.
We're going to win this game. I'm confident in that.
You heard it. Bold prediction from the Cowboys head coach before facing their biggest rivals in the NFL, the Washington football team in big board sports. But first, Spurs have a great chance tonight to get a win against the tired Nuggets team on the second night of back-to-backs on the sixth game of a 7-game road trip. Jakob Poeltl tracks down the offensive board, gets it to Doug McDermott for the 3 and a 6-point lead. Then the catch-and-shoot 3 from Bryn Forbes is good. Spurs shooting 50% from three-point land in the first quarter. That led to an 8-point lead after one. The 3 Esta continued in the second. DeJounte Murray to Lonnie Walker the fourth with back-to-back threes. Part of an 18-5 run. The lead would get as large as 18 when Walker hits this 3, but Nikola Jokic got the Nuggets within 4 with his bucket. Spurs cling to a 9-point lead at the break. Spurs crashing the offensive glass tonight off the Jokic miss. Trey Jones gets it ahead to Drew Eubanks for the two-handed punch and the foul. The 3-point play gives the Spurs a 9-point edge. The Spurs in the third with back-to-back threes from Devin Vassell and DeJounte Murray. Spurs with 15 threes tonight, and it's a 10-point lead for the Spurs going into the fourth. Derek White led the silver and black with 23 points in plays like this, going strong in the paint for the bucket over Jokic, then attacking the rim again, this time high off the glass for the bucket. Spurs snapped their 2-game skid, 123 to 111.
I just try to go out and be aggressive. Teammates doing a good job putting me in positions to succeed, and just got to go out there and make plays.
I thought Derek was stupendous, though, tonight. Derek White was special tonight in a lot of different ways. Made a lot of good decisions, a lot of good basketball plays that help you win.
And we'll see him again on Saturday at 7:30.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
Talk about coming back with a bang on his first day back after spending 10 days away from the team because he tested positive for COVID-19. Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy didn't hold back, as you heard at the top of the sportscast. On his first day back since being locked in a hotel room since November the 26th, McCarthy boldly predicted the Cowboys will win this game against the Washington football team. Their arch rivals in the NFC East, who've had a resurgence this season by winning their last 4 straight games. In fact, the Cowboys will play Washington twice in the next 3 weeks. So McCarthy was asked if he thought he might have given Washington some bulletin board material.
What am I supposed to say? Yeah, I fully expect to win every game I've ever competed in. I mean, that's what sports is all about. That's what the NFL. Trust me, I understand how hard it is. They're working hard. We're working hard. But yeah, we're clearly planning on going to Washington to win the game. I mean, there's no doubt about that.
All right, for the second straight day, Tony Pollard did not practice after suffering a foot injury in the win against the Saints, and rookie linebacker Micah Parsons was limited with a hip injury. The Cowboys are 4-point favorites on Sunday in Washington. The Houston Texans have still not made a decision on who will start at quarterback this Sunday when the 2-10 Texans host the Seattle Seahawks at noon in NRG Stadium. Tyrod Taylor suffered an injury to his non-throwing hand that had rookie Davis Mills come into the 31-0 rout of the Colts in the third quarter, but still unable to get the Texans into the end zone. If the decision is made to return the rookie to the starting role, how much does mobility play into that decision?
When you look at some of the things that Davis does, well, I think one of the better things he does do is throw on the run. I think we're fortunate to have 2 quarterbacks that are athletic enough to be able to move the pocket and do some things outside the pocket. While Davis probably hasn't had, the explosive flash plays that Tyrod has had in terms of scrambling and running with the football, he's a capable athlete.
All right, more honors for UTSA football next. Honors continue to pour in for UTSA football following their historic 12-1 season so far. Star quarterback Frank Harris has been named the Offensive Player of the Year, according to Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine, all Texas college teams, while head coach Jeff Traylor has been named Coach of the Year. In addition, Sincere McCormick was named Best Running Back among 8 Roadrunners honored by the publication. Just days after UIW head coach Eric Morris confirmed he's leaving the Cardinals to become the new offensive coordinator at Washington State, the Cardinals' record-setting quarterback Cam Ward announced he's entering the transfer portal. Now, Ward helped lead the Cardinals to the most wins in program history, their first outright Southland Conference title, and first playoff win in school history. On social media, Ward cited the uncertainty of a coaching change, and with 3 years of eligibility left, said it was best to explore all available opportunities. If Shiner is going to return to the state title game in Class 2A Division I, they're going to have to get by Timpson tonight in Tomball. Drew Winsky throws it to a wide-open Tyler Bishop for a 9-yard touchdown. Just like that, it's a 7-0 lead. And now on the ground, Doug Brooks, who is big and fast and got in the interest of Texas, able to score from 32 yards out. And that widened the lead at 21-7. The final from Tomball. Shiner's going back to that state title game, 35-28. Look at just how big and fast he is. And, of course, tomorrow night we'll follow Fall City and Cuero to see if they can make it to the state championship game.
Man, this is where it gets big time.
This is huge.
Yeah. Thanks, Greg.
We'll be right back.